It's been a few months since we won Autorama. It's been quite a journey. It was hard getting there. There's a lot of things we had to sacrifice. Now I'm just trying to put my life back together, put the pieces of the puzzle that I cheated out of my life back into place. The car, we're really not done with it. It's time to go to Columbus. I want to drive the car. I want to drive it in a race format, an autocross format, show the world that a RIdler car doesn't just have to be something that sits still and looks pretty. It's got to be something that works and hauls ass. We've been doing a lot of testing on the car as far as its drivability is concerned. It's fast. It's got a potential to be extremely fast. That, of course, takes some time, and it takes some nitpicking and some tuning. So we got about 90 miles on it. I do think at this point we've poured enough horsepower to it that it hazes the tires and stops like I want it to. It seems very manageable, and I'm excited to figure out whether it'll be easy to work or whether it'll be a car that's kind of out of control on the autocross course. Blew a turbo line just on our way here, limped the truck into Columbus because we couldn't find a place that late at night to deal with it.
You know, every time we're stuck on the side of the road, it makes me think, if I only had $1 million, I probably wouldn't drive old crappy trucks and end up stuck in these kinds of messes.
Typical of any road trip, they don't go without a hitch. There's always something that has to happen. We gave ourselves an extra day, and luckily we had that handy. We left home, and I had just sort of, while I was getting my life back together, I bought basically the cheapest diesel truck I could find. Just something that would take the weight of the trailer, get us here, but that comes with some serious problems. You get an old clapped out truck. So I've just gone to the store, gonna put a new turbo hose on the actual truck that we're hauling with. I don't think you're gonna see it very often that a RIdler builder is having to fix his own crappy diesel truck in the parking lot at the hotel, but this is our situation, this is our reality, and we just have to deal with it. With hardly any sleep and being a mechanic and a truck driver all week, we get here Friday morning and it's finally time to do what we really like to do. It's time to unwind a little bit, let the car speak for itself, open it up, wipe all the dust off that got on it on the trailer, and show it to people. And it really, again, I say it's overwhelming because people are all over the car. It's like there's a magnetic attraction. The car is so foreign in its shape and its design and its execution that people just want to be a part of it. They want to touch it, they want to see it, they want to talk about it. They need more information because it's just not something you see every day. I gotta say, the strangest thing about coming here, it's an East Coast event, and there's something about that. Everybody here knows that it's the RIdler car. It brings a lump to my throat when they start talking about my old cars and they remember my other cars that I've built. It's one of those things that you're always wondering where you are in the industry and if people have noticed what you do and whether it's substantial. And it's overwhelming to see how many people have studied my build style, how I like to put a car together, and know car by car what year, when we were an influence to the industry and what we've created. I've got about 1,000 horsepower on tap, and I gotta say, I'm extremely nervous about what's gonna happen in the autocross course. Well, I just walked the track, and I gotta say I'm a little more nervous than I am confident. It's super tight, first gear stuff, but by the time the car gets into first gear, deep into the first gear, the boost comes on, you'll see it swinging sideways. It's an interesting track. We'll just try to keep it off the walls. And when I walked it, I realized there's cement barricades all around the whole thing. They're only about 8 feet from the final cone. So if you skip a cone and your car doesn't stop in time, you're gonna smash it. We'll take out $1 million car. It's got me nervous and I don't know what's gonna happen. And by the time I got the first 30 feet into it and the tires started sliding, I grabbed a handful of wheel, turned left, just smooth as silk, and I realized I might as well try it. And the more I used the throttle, the more the ass end stepped out. I came around the right-hander and it just felt like I could keep the ass end out about a foot ahead of the front wheels, and it just felt super controllable. Awesome fun. Tried to squeeze the throttle some more because that's how you make time. You got to actually use the throttle to get fast. Spun it right around. And I thought, that's it. I've knocked some cones out. I'm gonna have to back this thing up. As it spun around, I went lock to lock on the steering wheel, managed to save it, drifted it out of that sequence, and basically made a pretty impressive pass. I thought, holy cow, I really might have something here. It's interesting to see, though, the reaction of people when they've seen a full-blown RIdler car sideways on an autocross track. It's never happened before. It is definitely precedent-setting. I hope it inspires others to realize that you can build a car to a standard and still enjoy it as a car. That's what they're for. They have engines because you're supposed to use them. They have tires because you're supposed to burn them off.